What's happening, SNDL traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Happy Friday. It's Friday, March 22nd. It was a great day in the markets. Lots of green. SNDL was one of them. We're going to take a look at the earnings, their recent Q4 2023 and full year 2023 earnings. And then we'll look at the chart and a bunch more stuff here as well. Got a banger of a video for you. Wanted to kind of wait before I release this video because there was a lot that I wanted to mention and I don't have a whole lot of time. I want to try to keep this around 15 minutes, so we'll jump right to it. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not for financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or anything that I write. Also, I do own SNDL in my portfolio, full disclosure, and you can give us a follow over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So appreciate all of the followers and the subscribers. I've got over 6,000 now, so really do love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. So spoiler alert, they did miss their earnings estimates. So I did an earnings prep video. This was, 4 or 5 days ago now. And I said that we were expecting analysts' consensus on Wall Street was 255.176 million. And they actually came in and missed in terms of that, and they missed in terms of EPS as well by quite a large margin. We were forecasting 263.5 million here on investing.com, and you can see it came in at 248.5, and EPS, earnings per share, was negative 0.33. They were forecasting positive 0.01, but I said in this video that they're kind of out to lunch. I didn't really believe that. And then if we go over to TradingView, they had estimates the same thing. Positive 0.008. This is on the NASDAQ, so if you round that up, it's about 1 cent Canadian. But again, I didn't trust that. And then when I went on Moomoo, we got to love Moomoo because they always seem to be bang on. They were forecasting negative 0.16, so they were saying there was going to be a loss, and it came in at negative 0.32 rounded. If you rounded, I think they must have rounded it on investing.com, but you can see here the Moomoo analyst was, I'm not sure who the analyst was, but it was closer than investing.com. So I really like the Moomoo platform for that as well. And they were forecasting 248.4 million, and it came in at 248.45. So they're pretty much bang on there as well. So kudos to the Moomoo platform. But again, in that video, essentially what I do is I add up all three of those, and then I divide it by 3 and I get the consensus. And we were expecting 255 as the average of those. So they did have a pretty big miss, came in at 248.5, and then a pretty big miss there in terms of EPS, but it wasn't all bad. It was a great report overall, and we'll go through the details here. You can see here the net income loss. So 3 months ended December 31st, 2023. The total was negative 84.939 million. So if you take 84.939 million and divide it by the outstanding shares, 262.8 million, you get 0.323. So negative 0.323 because it was a loss. So that is the calculation. And then you can see here on Edgar that as of December 31st, 2023, the company had 262.8 million shares outstanding, and December 31st, the prior year, 235.2 million shares. They did announce the renewal of the share repurchase program, though, as well, which they did go over a little bit. I don't think they did any for the period, but we'll go through here. I've got some highlights. I'm not going to read the entire thing so you can breathe a sigh of relief, but we'll go through some highlights here, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it as well. And like I said, I'm very bullish on this company long term. It's very differentiated from a lot of other companies in the space because we see a lot of consolidation, bankruptcies left, right, and center. And what's happening is these companies are starting to have their competitive advantage. They're starting to focus on one key area of the industry and focus on their strengths rather than try to be everything to everyone, right? So you're starting to see in Canada a very differentiated market now. You got your Canopy, look at Organogram, 100% MJ focused. You got Tilray, which is a branding company. They're into, actually manufacturing alcohol and craft beer and spirits and things like that. And then they also have their hemp and their pharmaceutical, their distribution business, their MJ business. Then you got people like High Tide, that's just into retail for now anyways. And then you got SNDL, who's into retail, both alcohol and in MJ. And they also are employing the discount model similar to High Tide, right? And the margins as a result were a bit lower, but it's kind of the Costco method, if you will, really, though, with High Tide because they have the membership, but SNDL is different because they also touch the plant. And as we know, there was news today that there's going to be improvements to excise taxes more than likely from the review of the MJ Act here in Canada. And another thing was direct-to-consumer sales, which SNDL will benefit greatly from that, right? Because we know it's a producer and it has retail operations. So overall, this company is going to, and then through Sunstream in the US, this company is going to be massive. And as far as I know, I'm pretty sure they have EU GMP certification as well, so they'll be able to benefit from the European market and Germany. But yeah, we'll go through the highlights and then we'll take a look at a few other things. They have an investor presentation, investor deck that just came out, was updated. We'll go through a couple of things there and then we'll look at the chart here. But stock was up today, over 21% at the close, so congrats to the bulls. But let's take a look. The company reported record net revenue and gross profit in 2023 and achieves positive cash flow in the second half of 2023, so that's great to see. Reported its financial operational results for the full year and fourth quarter ended December 31st, 2023. All financial information in this press release is reported in millions of Canadian dollars unless otherwise indicated. So we'll go through some of the highlights here. Full year and fourth quarter financial highlights. Record net revenue of $909 million for 2023 compared to $712.2 million in 2022 as a result of the Alcanna, right? That was obviously a big contributor to the revenue now and that big increase. And an increase of 28% year over year. Net revenue for the fourth quarter of 2023 was $248.5 million compared to $240.4 million in the fourth quarter of 2022. So just a little bit of an increase there. 3% with sequential growth in MJ Retail and MJ Operations segments. They had positive free cash flow achieved in the second half of 2023, totaling $17.7 million. And the achievement was marked by positive free cash flow of $16.3 million in the third quarter of 2023. And I think the days of unprofitable LPs and Canadian MJ companies are very, very numbered. I would say, a few quarters from now, if not within the next year, two max, in my opinion, we're going to start to see profitability metrics being hit left, right, and center for these Canadian companies. Their operating income loss of $162.8 million, and a big driver is going to be because of Germany, right? And then we have lots of reform promise here in the US as well. And then Ontario also doubling its store cap from 75 to 150 and trying to combat that illicit market. And that's only going to continue, in my opinion. So operating income, and imagine once excise tax improvement comes, there's going to be so much more on the bottom line, right? So once we have a percentage excise tax, which they're talking about doing, April 16th is the federal budget. So we might hear something, save that date. And if it's switched to a percent tax, then some of these companies are going to have tens of millions of extra dollars hitting the bottom line, right? So this is going to be huge. And a lot of people were concerned about insolvency, things like that with regards to, the US dragging their feet, taking so long. Germany is going to help with that, and then also, doubling the store count and excise tax improvements, and there should be lots of other improvements towards like packaging, advertising, marketing, all that stuff. There's so much growth, right? Having it in convenience stores or, different types of grocery stores, or if there's, what else could it be? Advertising on TV, right? A Super Bowl commercial. Like imagine all this, the growth that's still ahead of us. Operating income loss of $162.8 million for 2023, partly attributable to restructuring charges of $19.6 million and goodwill impairment of $29 million. This compares to the loss of $347.8 million in the previous year, marking a 53% improvement driven by revenue and margin expansion. Adjusted EBITDA from continuing operations was $29.2 million in 2023 compared to adjusted EBITDA from continuing operations loss of $15.8 million in the prior year. 2023 was a transformational year for SNDL, laying the groundwork for enhanced financial operational performance. They acquired Valens. They optimized MJ Operations footprint by closing the Olds, Alberta facility and transitioning remaining cultivation activities to Atholville, New Brunswick, while consolidating manufacturing and processing activities in Kelowna, BC. And I think the Atholville was from the Stalking Horse bid, and whenever Zenabis, I'm pretty sure that came from Zenabis through that whenever they got their assets, as they were in creditor protection. Optimize and rationalize the company's MJ brand and SKU portfolio, enhance proprietary data program in MJ retail segments, significantly boosting margin profits, enhance the leadership team by appointing a new CFO and president of MJ, among other key senior roles. So $766.7 million of unrestricted cash, marketable securities and investments, and no outstanding debt, which is great to see, with $195 million of unrestricted cash at December 31st, 2023. SNDL has not raised cash through share offerings since June of 2021, which is also great to see. So some comments here from Zach George, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of SNDL. 2023 was a year of significant financial success for us, including record-breaking revenue and gross profit and the achievement of free cash flow in the second half of the year. The generation of stabilized free cash flow continues to be a top priority for our team, and I am proud that we delivered on this stated objective during the last 2 quarters. This period was foundational as we acquired Valens, welcomed top-tier leaders, and streamlined our balance sheet, positioning SNDL for improved performance in 2024 and beyond. In our MJ operations, we undertook a comprehensive overhaul, establishing a solid foundation for future success. We refined our brand portfolio and optimized our operational footprint and enhanced our procurement strategies with early signs of positive impact in 2024. So it's an exciting time, right? Because a lot of these companies are starting to focus, like I said, on key segments, and they're very differentiated. You can see their moat and their competitive advantage is starting to shine now. And like I said, I think there's merit in owning a lot of different companies, right? The great thing about MJ is we can own more than one stock, right? And I think SNDL should be a part, not financial advice, of course, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I think SNDL is a very great option in a well-diversified and balanced portfolio in the MJ industry, right? And then you got your Tilrays, your organograms, you got your MSOs. You can balance between retailers in the U.S. and Canada, and then retail in the U.S. and Canada, and ETFs in U.S. and Canada. If you haven't seen my MJ portfolio 2024 update with percentages, you should check that out, and you can see I think I own about 16 or 17 different MJ stocks now. We also announced the launch of Sunstream USA Group through our joint venture partner, Sunstream Bancorp Inc., highlighting our commitment to the U.S. market as a key catalyst for growth. And like I said, with Germany coming online, the rest of the EU, Ontario doubling its store cap, excise tax improvement, all of this is aligning perfectly. It's a perfect storm, really. And then that's going to help them, right? Building out Ontario, doubling the store count, focusing on European markets. That's going to be a nice stopgap and get them through. And more than likely, the companies that are financially stable and that make it through the turbulence period and that actually make it to U.S. legalization, then it's just, that's when the boys and the girls are going to be separated from the men and the women, right? So it's looking really, really good. But as you can see here, we'll go through some of the gross profit in 2023 was $137.7 million, or 24% of sales for liquor retail. That's pretty much kind of the average, around 25% for their gross margins, which we want to see it a lot better than that. But because they employ that discount model, even in their alcohol segment, their liquor segment, and their retail segment for that, it's a discount model, right? If you go to Ace Liquor, it's like a discount retailer, right? It's about saving money, and they're doing that in their MJ space, right, with Value Buds, and they have that stake in Nova MJ, which Value Buds is literally in the name, Value Buds, and they try to beat competitors. And same thing with High Tide, they're focusing on that, and that's helping also combat the illicit market and convert people from that market to the legal market, right? So we'll go through a little bit quicker here. On November 13th, 2023, the company announced that its board of directors had approved a renewal of the share repurchase program upon its expiry on November 20th, 2023. The company's share repurchase program continues to be available to lower the outstanding share float. So as of December 31st, 2023, the company did not purchase common shares for cancellation. So there was a conference call as well, and then a replay that can be found here. I actually didn't listen to it yet. I might in the future here. I've been pretty busy. The reason why it took me so long to get this video is because I wanted to make it as awesome as possible, and there was a lot to go over. And I'm actually focusing on buying another Airbnb property, my second Airbnb property, my 5th condo in less than, I think, 2 years. And I've got a few for sale as well, but I'm focusing on another Airbnb property. Pretty much got that all done. And then welcoming our daughter into the world. She's 2 months old tomorrow, so it's been very hectic. A lot of sleepless nights, and try to balance everything as much as possible, right? We have to look after our physical and mental health and spiritual health as much as possible. So 195 million cash and cash equivalents. And then if we scroll down here to the 3-month period, like I mentioned, their total loss was 84.939 million. And then you divide the shares by that loss by the shares. And like I said, negative 0.323 for EPS. All right, that was a lot. And then there was an MJ Biz Daily article here with some updates. So they say they have their annual loss to 176.6 million, and they had strong sales growth. That was down from SNDL's 2022 net loss of $372.4 million. SNDL's free cash flow for the year was negative $60.9 million, 2 times worse than 2022 figures of minus $31.9. However, the Alberta business said it achieved positive free cash flow in the second half of the year, and they have a number of significant business segments, including MJ Production, wholesale sales, MJ Retail sales, alcohol retail sales, and investments. So a lot to like here. Net revenue for the company's liquor retail sales amounted to $578.7 million, 25% higher than what was recorded in 2022. They're the largest private sector, Canada's largest private sector liquor retailer with 170 locations, most of which are in Alberta. Getting tired here today. I should say tonight. The company also has 63% ownership in Nova MJ, which I mentioned. SNDL says it makes it Canada's largest private sector MJ retailer with 187 locations across the country. Net sales, mostly in Alberta though. Net sales from SNDL's MJ retail segment grew 41% year over year to $290 million. And the Nova Data Sales program generated revenue of $12.3 million in 2023 compared to $4.2 million the year prior. In February, SNDL announced the acquisition of 5 Superette stores in Ontario. And as of March 21st, SNDL has 85 Spirit Leaf stores, including 21 corporate outlets and 64 franchise stores. The company's MJ operations segment, which doesn't include retail but does include wholesale sales, also reported impressive growth in 2023. And the segment achieved record net revenue of $87.1 million in 2023, which is a 96% increase from $44.4 million year prior. SNDL's fourth segment, investments, generated positive operating income of $12.2 million in 2023 compared to net loss of $91.4 million in 2022. All right, so here's the investor deck. I guess it's going to be longer than 15 minutes, this video. We'll just go through pretty quickly here. So if you haven't seen this, I highly encourage you to check it out. But you can see, breaks it down, their operating segments. Majorities coming from liquor retail, $578.9 million. MJ Retail, $290 million. MJ Operations, which is their cultivation, etc. Net revenue, $87.1 million. And from investments, Sunstream, Bancorp, and M&A focused equity investments, they have $14 million. So vertically integrated, great to see. Strong balance sheet, retail and scale experience, and strategic investments. You can see here 2,600 employees, massive. And $994 million latest quarter annualized net revenue, 357 retail stores, liquor and MJ, market cap of $530 million, and positive free cash flow in the second half of 2023, $17.7 million. No debt. So there's a couple of slides for you to pause and look at as well. So yeah, gross margin 21%. That, the average is like 40 or 50. I think the average is around probably 30 or 40, but what you want to see is like 40 or 50, and then anything beyond, like that's decent, and then anything above that is just amazing. But a little low, but again, it's because they're value buds and they're that discount segment, right? So here's a few other screenshots as well if you want to pause, take a look at it. Net revenue, gross profit. So Q4 2023 highlights. Gross margin was 23, so inching up a little bit there, but again, still want to see it somewhere around that 40 to 50 area. So they have their liquor retail. They go through some key highlights in that. MJ Retail, 26.7% gross margin. So yeah, it's on average around 25%, but we want to see it definitely higher than that for sure. Scrolling through a little bit quicker here, as I want to keep this video as short as possible, try to keep it around 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because I still want to take a look at the chart as well. But yeah, Sunstream and SNDL potential equitized portfolio. So you can see you're comparing Green Thumb, True Leaf, Pure Leaf, Verano. It's sitting in the 4th position there. So it compares some of the balance sheets as well to some of the peers, Tilray, Kronos, Canopy, Organigram, Aurora, Village Farms. And yeah, decent, attractive company at the moment, right? So if we take a look at their multiples as well, enterprise value versus revenue, they're only at 0.6x. Wow, crazy. Cruising along here, SNDL valuation, and that's pretty much it. Then they talk about their brand portfolio. So Wine and Beyond, Liquor Depot, Ace Liquor, Discounter, right? It's in the name. Value Buds, Value, and then Spirit Leaf, Superette, Fire Sale. And then, Palmetto is theirs. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, those are really popular here in Calgary. Very, very popular. So Top Leaf, yeah, you can you can see this company is going to be an absolute behemoth as well. And again, no one's really doing this. Liquor retail and MJ retail and MJ operations, right? Like very differentiated business and well diversified in international markets as well. So great company overall. And then I posted this on X, but not before a massive fake out, classic MJ. In technical analysis, we trust. So I drew this quite a while ago that we were targeting out of this breakout of this pennant. We were targeting about $1.84, and we had that brutal fake out, and we ended up coming back to that target again, and we came within like 10 cents of it. So technical analysis, there's tons of times where we see a fake out right before a massive breakout, and we got very close to it here when we broke out. But again, one more final shakeout, and that was when a lot of names were starting their monthly consolidation, forming those monthly higher lows, just looking for a monthly uptrend. And then I also posted this CGC record in weekly and daily volume. The volume today was 66.25 million shares, about 463 million in total dollars, and that's just on the NASDAQ. For comparison, GTBIF Green Thumb was 448K shares, so about $6.2 million, and Tilray was 95.584 shares, about 219.8 million traded today. But in March 2023, one day they had about 2.2 billion traded just on the NASDAQ alone. Still think MSO is the only ones worth owning, so I went and did this for SNDL. Their daily volume today was 18.55 million shares, so roughly 38.2 million. But as we know, SNDL can fly, and it was in that meme stock craze. So, get Wall Street Bets and a few other pumpers, and things could be getting very, very interesting. We could see some fireworks here over the next few months, especially if we string together, rescheduling, safe banking, Ohio. We have them coming online. We have Florida, Pennsylvania, Germany. Like, there's so much to be. Excise tax here in Canada, MJ Act up for review, and so many bullish catalysts coming down the pipe. Ontario store doubling, right? So this is great. This is a great time to be an MJ. And we did confirm a daily uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. And you can see from the low of yesterday to the high of the day today, we were up over 26%. But some of the leaders, CGC was up over 70% today, closed at up 68%. So lots of green out there today, and love to see it. But one thing I'm looking at here as well on the weekly time frame, we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the weekly time frame, which is usually very, very bullish. Look what happened last time, and that was that brutal shakeout, but just a monthly higher low that formed. And we're just looking for the monthly uptrend to confirm. So we had a nice double bottom. It was 125. Essentially, we hit 131 and then 130. So a nice double bottom there at 130, looking for that monthly higher low. That was a great opportunity, even if just for a swing trade with a stop below 125, very low risk. You could have risked, like a few percent, and then you'd be up currently about 35%, a little over. So this is looking really good. Key resistance is 236. Break that. We're in a monthly uptrend, and that would be the first time in history. On this chart, you can see we're in a monthly downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. And yeah, this would be the first time in history. I just noticed that. And we're gearing up for a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, which would be the first time in history. And we can see here that EMA 12, this yellow line, is just a brick wall ever since we were at the highs there in February 2021 of 39.6. So if we can get a monthly candle close over that, preferably 2, then we're probably heading to EMA 26, which would bring us to 332, which I think this stock should easily be at $3 right now. Like, I think it's going to be there in a not too distant future. But GTBIF, you can see here, it's actually above its EMA 26, and we're seeing a monthly bull cross there as well for the first time in history. And it's already in a monthly uptrend as well. So like I said, SNDL looks poised to be one of the next ones in Canada. We're only about 33% away from confirming a monthly uptrend. Cron's close to doing it as well. High Tide's very close. So this is looking really, really good. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, we're back above the 10-week moving average. We just had a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD on the weekly time frame, and we're getting above the 50 weekly, which last time we got above it, but then we didn't get that second or third candle close for confirmation. Went right back below. That was just your monthly higher low forming, and that last capitulation and accumulation event, and then that disbelief phase where everybody thinks MJ's all going to zero, bankruptcies left, right, and center. But that was just that monthly higher low forming and last shakeout. And then here we are, we're back above it. So again, that's what we want to see, at least 2, but preferably 3 candle closes over that. And then we have the 100 weekly there at 210 coming up, and then the 200 there at 454. And again, names are starting to trend back to their 200 weekly moving average. That's the trend right now across the entire MJ space. You can see GTBIF, Green Thumb, came within a couple dollars. So it's looking really, really good. If we can just get over that 100 weekly there at 210, got some runway to 454, which will bring us to the 200. We're also gearing up for a daily bull cross of the daily moving averages. So this is a golden cross, the 50 below the 200, and it's set to cross again over the next few weeks. So this is looking really, really good. The last time this happened, the Golden Cross, we weren't in a monthly uptrend. So what I want to see is a monthly uptrend confirm with a break of that key resistance at, what was it, 236? 236. So if we break 236 and get our Golden Cross and get our weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, this thing, in my opinion, is going to $3 in no time. But smash the like if you enjoyed this video. Went a lot longer than I expected, but hopefully I put a lot of work into this video. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of it. If you did, smash the like if you think I earned it today. I would appreciate it. Love each and every one of you. It's Rob with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and let me know what you think of this earnings in the comments section below. We'll continue the conversation there. All right. Happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend ahead, and we'll see you again on the next video.